Hello, what is going on, guys? I am the CHALL and welcome back to another video. Now today is another basketball update, but this time we're coming from the BBL, the British Basketball League. It's the highest competition in the UK for professional basketball, and it is also one of the top competitions in Europe. So, this update is talking about what the current plans could be for the BBL ahead of what's been coming, and that is of course how they're going to finish this competitive season following the postponement of the season following the coronavirus pandemic. Now before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss any more of that football and basketball content. And for now, guys, let's get into this video. So, this is all about the BBL. Now I'm going to take an update that was put on 2-3 weeks ago, and this is a statement officially from the BBL website from 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm going to share my thoughts on what I think should happen, and also just share some of my personal stats with what's happened in the league before this. So let's start off with that article and that press statement from the BBL from a couple of weeks ago. So this statement was from Andy Webb, the Chief Operating Officer at the British Basketball League, and it says, with the 2019-20 season currently postponed due to the ongoing measures in place to help combat COVID-19, the British Basketball League, the BBL, is holding weekly board meetings online to determine the best strategies for sustaining the league and our clubs throughout these extraordinary times, and how and when we might restart competitions. These discussions include how we might finish the 2019-2020 season and prepare for next season. In addition, weekly meetings are being held with clubs to review proposals from the board, to share best practice and covering a wide range of issues arising out of the impact of the crisis. Although there is currently too much uncertainty, the BBL's member clubs are discussing some specific potential options to allow an effective and safe return to action. They're likely to come into a view over the next number of weeks as clarity comes from government on what will be allowable and when, on what terms. The main options are being discussed are 1. Completing the 2019-2020 season prior to commencing the 2020-2021 season, or 2. Writing off the 2019-2020 season and amending the structure and format of the 2020-2021 season. So basically, in summary, it's either complete the season ready for next season or write off the season and get ready for next season. The BBL can assure all its fans that at the heart of our discussions is the health and well-being at our clubs for their players and supporters, alongside any impacts on their sponsors and partners, as well as the impact on BBL and its sponsors. The BBL is also staying in close contact with other leagues both in the UK and overseas, whilst being mindful that local conditions will vary considerably and will be significantly impacted on our own government's guidelines. The BBL would like to thank all partners, supporters and clubs for their patience and understanding at this time, and hope all stay safe and well. So that is the statement from the BBL's Chief Operating Officer, Andy. And you know what? Fair play to him. He put out a wicked statement there. He's thinking of him and the league are thinking about the players. They're thinking about the staff. They're thinking about the clubs. They're thinking about the fans. They're thinking about every single person involved. And you know what? Personally, if I was to choose between those two options, I would put less pressure on yourselves, BBL. I would just personally write off this season. I would give the title to Glasgow, who are top of the league. Yes, they may not have played the same amount of games as other teams, but at this point, health is more important than basketball, and I would personally give the title to Glasgow. I think they deserve it. I think they're at the top for a reason. Even though it is quite close, I think they are top for a reason. And in my personal opinion, I believe that Glasgow should win it. Other teams have performed very well this season as well. However, I think Glasgow are just because they're number one, I think just write off this season, give them the title and just write it off and just get ready for the Cup and the Championship next season. So from this then, we're going to now discuss my personal thoughts on some of the better players. And I may do a separate video on this, but I'm just going to highlight a couple of, options, for example. So let's have a look at some of the highlights in standings from the 2019-2020 season so far. So as promised then, the league table stands with Glasgow playing 15 games, winning 12 and losing 3 with 24 points. They are 4 points clear of London in second. Worcester are behind them with 18 points. Leicester behind them in 16. The Sheffield Sharks joint 5th with 14 with the Newcastle Eagles and Cheshire. Bristol behind them with Surrey with 10 points, joint 8th. And then 6 points with Plymouth. And then bottom of the table on 0 is Manchester, who were promoted the following season from the following season before this. So in terms of player stats then, looking at the scoring sheets per game, up top is of course the points per game ratio, points average at 22.64 of CJ Gettis from the Newcastle Eagles, followed by Ovi Socko from London, Plymouth's Matthew Scott, then Surrey's Lovell Cook and Cheshire's Parker Jackson Cartwright. And then CJ Gettis also leads rebounding per game with a rebounding per game of 13.29. Then behind them is Worcester's Amir Williams, London's Brandon Peel and Ovi Socko again, and Plymouth's Rashid Hassan. And in assists per game, you've got Kyron Cartwright from Leicester leading with an average, with an assist per game average percentage of 8.76. Ramon Fletcher from Newcastle Eagles at 8.31. Parker Jackson Cartwright from Cheshire with a 7.22. Mackay McKnight from Sheffield from 6.72. And of course with 6.30 is Plymouth's Josh Wiltshire. Now scoring through per 40 minutes is an interesting one. Ovi Socko leading from London with a 31.30. Then you've got CJ Gettis from Newcastle with a 28.82. Matthew Scott from Plymouth with a 25.04. Lovell Cook from Surrey with a 24.83 and Brandon Peel from London with a 24.26. Rebounding per 40 minutes has CJ Gettis in the lead from Newcastle with 16.91. Amir Williams from Worcester with 15.32. Aliune 2 from London with a 14.66. David Ulp from Manchester with a 13.62. That's been one of the highlights for Manchester this season as a team. Brandon Peel from London closing off the top 5 rebounding per 40 minutes with a 13.49. And assists per 40 minutes, Kyron Cartwright from Leicester leading with a 12.91 in assists per 40 minutes. Andrew Lawrence with a 10.39 assists per 40 minutes from the now defunct London City Royals. Ramon Fletcher from Newcastle with a 9.77. Parker Jackson Cartwright from Cheshire with an 8.14. And Mackay McKnight of Sheffield with a 7.48. So that's some of the individual stats then. Obviously CJ Gettis is a player that stands out. He's one of the star players in the league from the Newcastle Eagles. And I'm sure there's other fantastic players to stand out there as well. But I think CJ Gettis has got to be my player of the season. One of my player of the season contenders because he's been great all over. And like I said earlier, he leads per game in scoring and rebounding, so you know he's right up there as one of the best offensive players in the league. And there's other fantastic talents. I can't name them all because you're all fantastic, but the BBL has such a great number of talents, and you know this league, you know, deserves the coverage because this league, you know, the league already gets fantastic coverage, but it deserves more than just fantastic coverage. It deserves excellent coverage because the BBL is such a fantastic league to watch, and there's so much great potential in these players, and I feel like the BBL are doing a fantastic job with their league, so keep right on it. So thank you very much guys for watching this video update on the situation with the BBL this season. Hopefully it does come back, however to ease the pressure I would just say just write off the season, give Glasgow the title and just go again. No relegations, just set the leagues back to where they were at the start of this season and just keep the same teams in the league really because and obviously with the London City Royals we know that they've been expulsed from the league with a 1-3 record. It was very early on in the season, so you know they were expulsed and their record was withdrawn. I want someone to buy the London City Royals and I want them to come back and I want them to have a 12 league season again. So I would have the 2020-2021 season as a repeat in terms of teams of the 1920 season, but I would have Glasgow as your defending champions because they are top of the league right now. So ease the pressure on yourself, just write off the season, give Glasgow the title, no relegations, no promotions, and just go again next season with the same league schedule. So thank you very much guys for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and for now guys, I'm the CHALL. Please like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye.